Hello, guys, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We're back for the team selection video for game week 30. Sorry, game week 35. I forgot what game week it was for a sec there. But we will quickly be recapping, obviously, the current game week, which is double game week 34. As always, and we'll do our team selection for 35, captaincy, transfer plans, all that good stuff as well. But yeah, how you doing, Jordan? How's your week been so far?
Yeah, it's been a nice week so far. Obviously, Double Gameweek 34 is still ongoing with Brighton and Man City playing this evening, but I feel like it's been a very successful week, especially for free hitters and especially for Huss as well, because he's broken, I think, his first 100 this season.
Yeah, big week for free hitters. If you did free hit, let us know in the chat. And yeah, let's get started. So it's double gaming 34 still ongoing, one game left, but I don't have any players from that fixture, so I'm hoping Foden, etc., doesn't punish me too much. But we'll see how that game goes. So in goal, this was the surprise and the shock of my team. I did not expect this at all. Jordan Pickford keeping 2 clean sheets against Liverpool and then Forest as well. The Forest one, was lucky, say the least. Forest should have had at least 3 penalties in that game. So I don't know how he got away with no clean sheets, but it is what it is. He got 8 points for the game against Forest after getting the bonus points as well. And he also got 3 save points. So he got 1 point for the 3 saves. Against Liverpool, however, he absolutely went crazy as well. He got a 10-pointer against Liverpool. After the clean sheet, he had 7 saves against Liverpool after Liverpool's awful finishing that game against Everton yesterday evening. So he got 2 points for the 7 saves, and he also got 2 bonus points in the end. So he ends up on a massive 18-pointer, which I didn't see coming. So yeah, essentially, can't really go wrong there. And the free hit's just been amazing, really. And the only people that have actually let me down, the only players, is actually the Liverpool guys, as you guys can see. So Virgil van Dijk, 2 games, got 0 points against Everton, because he got the yellow card as well. So he got nothing against Everton. He got 2 points in Liverpool's 3-1 win against Fulham after they conceded. Gabriel, on the other hand, did get a clean sheet, and he got back-to-back clean sheets against Wolves and Chelsea. So 5-0 win against Chelsea in their emphatic victory, and then 2-0 against Wolves. Munoz, another one who did do really well in that second game, keeping a clean sheet against Newcastle at home, which didn't see coming. I thought he might get one against West Ham, but nice to see him coming away with a clean sheet as well. So Van Dijk's the only one really not returning in the back line. Moving on to the midfield, positives and negatives. So let's start off with the Liverpool guys, Luis Diaz and Salah. Unfortunately, Salah was benched for the first fixture against Fulham. Luis Diaz, however, did play pretty much 90 minutes in both games, but Luis Diaz came away with nothing. Should have scored. Luis Diaz had a really good chance. Darwin headed it to Luis Diaz, and he just sort of hit it straight at the goalkeeper. So that was unlucky. So he comes away with 3 points, but the finishing Liverpool in the last 2 games have not been good enough, as we know. Salah, again, I thought he was pretty poor. I mean, that's being kind. I don't want to use certain words. I don't want to get the stream shut off. But yeah, Salah was terrible. And Liverpool in general were terrible. It was a dreadful performance, and he comes away with a 6 point. And as a Liverpool fan, obviously, that was just not great to see. So yeah, Salah with 2 points blank, and then got 1 point against Fulham because he only played 16 minutes in the first fixture. Comes away with 3 points. Captain gets 6 points. Moving on to some more positives of my team. Saka, he does come away with an assist and a clean sheet in the second game. So annoyingly, he only got 1 assist in a 5-0 win. Unfortunately, Odegaard is the one that went big. So congrats if you got Odegaard over Saka. I was considering it, but yeah, Saka comes away with a 9-pointer after his blank in the first fixture. Havertz, though, a lot of success there. Havertz was someone I was 100% having in my team. I remember saying early on, Havertz is a lock. He's a differential. 7.6% owned currently. Not many will have him. And I'm very glad I took the risk and went there because he had a big game against his former club, Chelsea. 2 goals, clean sheet point, and 1 bonus point for a lovely 14-pointer. And he got a 3-pointer against Wolves as well. Eze, on the other hand, again, first game of the week. Sorry, the first game of the game week. They played West Ham, absolutely spanked them 5-2. And yeah, Palace scoring 7 goals in 2 games, essentially. And they're doing really well. Palace have been impressive. Goal, assist, and a bonus 1 point for the first fixture. And in the second game against Newcastle, He did blank, obviously just get the 1 clean sheet point. So 14-pointer for Eze. And again, fantastic score there for the Palace boys. And then up front, Solanke did blank against Wolves, played 86 minutes. However, he did score, I believe, a penalty in the 3-1 loss against Aston Villa in the first of the fixtures. So he comes away with 8-pointer, which we'll take. And the big one is actually Mateta. Now, I did not see this coming in my wildest dreams. There was a 50-50. Do we go Mateta? Do we go Cunha? It made it obviously easier for me, but I was always going Mateta over Cunha. And Mateta just, I didn't see this coming. Like literally 16-pointer against West Ham and then another 13-pointer against Newcastle. So against West Ham, 2 goals, 1 assist, and the 3 bonus points. And he only played 67 minutes. So the damage could have been worse if he was on the pitch. Against Fulham, against Newcastle, he did play the 90 minutes. He got 2 goals against Newcastle and he got the 3 bonus points as well. So if you went captain Mateta, anyone, let us know because you absolutely smashed it. But yeah, I'm very glad I went Mateta. His ownership is only 4.8% from what I see. I know a lot of free hitters did go Mateta, so I don't know what that means in terms of the top 10k and things. But yeah, overall, you can't really complain. Absolutely amazing week. 125 points all out. On the bench, I also had a few scores as well. So my rank, I believe, was like 80k, I think, before this game week, around 80k. It's a massive green arrow up to 28k now inside the top 30k. I was always aiming for the top 50k with my free hit, but this game week's been much more bigger than I thought it would be. I did think it could be a good game week, and I know, as you guys, and you were asking me a couple of times, do you plan to go with any single game week players? I had no debate. I was just going to go doubles and go for it, and yeah, it's paid off. But obviously Man City still play, so Foden is there who could potentially damage non-free hitters, but I think overall it's been a big win. So yeah, 125 points all out, 28k rank, and yeah, it's just another good week, and hopefully 35's anywhere close to that it'll be great.
Yeah, it was an absolute blinding of a game week. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for my team, but yeah, it was so yeah. Let's move on, obviously, to how my double game week 34 went. So yeah, there is a bit of variation and changes in the formation due to auto subs. So let's start off with the goalkeeper though first, Leno, who was my single game week player. Obviously, he conceded 3 goals. Oh, sorry. Yeah, he conceded 3 goals. Yeah, 3 goals to obviously Liverpool. So his clean sheet was wiped. He did get a save point, for making 4 saves in that game, but yeah, not really much from him. I wasn't expecting a clean sheet or anything significant from that game, but yeah, only 2 points from him. Let's move on to the back 3 because there's pretty much all success in the back 3, which I'm quite happy with. So Reguilon, he doesn't keep a clean sheet, but he doesn't get an attack and return. He got 1 assist in that 5-1 win over Luton, and also was rewarded with bonus 2 points as well. So yeah, nice again return back to back now for Reguilon, and he's been a nice transfer in for me. So that was a nice start of the game week. Let's move on to Brantford, because this is another huge and surprising one. But Brantford ends up on the 20-pointer. Considering his first game, he got a yellow card, he got a clean sheet, but only getting I believe the 5 points from that game. But the a lot of points that comes from the Everton-Liverpool game, where he keeps the clean sheet, but he also scores 1 of the goals and is rewarded with the bonus 3 on top of that as well, which again, he finishes on a massive double haul of 20 points. So I think that was very helpful for my team, especially double game week players. Not very many I had. And yeah, I was quite fortunate. He delivered. Moving on to the last defender, that's Gabriel, who we spoke about. He keeps the clean sheet in the first game against Wolves and also keeps 1 against Chelsea as well. So yeah, back-to-back clean sheets for Gabriel in the double game week, and a nice haul of 12 points from him as well. Let's move on to the midfield. So Gordon only ends up on 1 point. He only got a yellow card, and obviously Newcastle didn't score against Crystal Palace, where they lost 2-0 to them. I feel like that's the new manager effect now for Crystal Palace. It seems to have been a massive turnaround since Hodgson's been sacked from that club, and the new manager's obviously taken over. It seems to have had a very good effect on Crystal Palace's side. But yeah, I need 1 point from Gordon. Moving on to the captain, that was Salah this week, and yeah, a bit disappointing. He was benched and only played about 16 or 15 minutes in the first game against Fulham. He played the full 90 against Everton, but we saw how that went in that shocking result. Liverpool losing 2-0 and effectively out of the title race. And I feel like Salah hasn't been the same since his injury and even past performances from Liverpool. So many chances, but none of them have been clinical enough and not delivered either. So yeah, very, very interesting what people do with Salah after this game week. Moving on to the other player, that is Palmer. Now, because Palmer didn't start against Arsenal, he is the auto sub for Doughty, who gets on -1. Obviously, Doughty conceded 5 to Man City, so that auto sub doesn't really help me at all. I think I'd rather have had Palmer with 0 rather than Doughty with -1, because that is 1 point taken off of me. So yeah, Palmer obviously is flagged for illness, so he should be available next game week, hopefully. And last midfielder, that is Saka. He ends up on 9 points. Considering Arsenal in both game weeks scored a total of 7 goals, and Saka wasn't a part of any of them, and only got 1 assist in the second game against Chelsea, is quite amazing. Because he did play 90 minutes in the first and played 80 in the second. But yeah, I was expecting a lot more from Saka, but yeah, a majority of them came from Odegaard. So well done to you guys who brought him in. And finally, moving on to the front three. Now, this is quite a bit of fortune again, but yeah, Semenyo got a 10-pointer. He actually did score the only goal in that second fixture against Wolves. He was benched in the first one against Aston Villa, only played half an hour, but I was glad that he started in the first one because he only scored the only goal in that 1-0 win and was rewarded with the bonus 3 as well. So that did quite help me, especially with obviously his teammate Solanke, who didn't get a return against Wolves, but he managed to score in the first fixture against Aston Villa from that penalty. Obviously, the Haaland, I know he plays tonight, but obviously he's not in the starting lineup, is he, Huss, for Man City?
I don't believe so. I've not actually checked the Man City lineup. I don't think he's in the squad. Yeah, he's not.
He's not in the squad. Okay, so yeah, this relates to my team. Obviously, because Haaland's not in the squad and won't play tonight, Bell is my auto sub again. It doesn't really matter because Bell hasn't played this game. He's red flagged for injury. So yeah, that just swaps Haaland on the bench just for the clarity. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole team really, because Areola didn't play and Son had a blank game week. Well, obviously Spurs didn't play. Overall, it's not been a great double game week. Obviously, I was expecting a red arrow, but it could have been much worse if I'm honest. I needed 26 more points for a green. Let's just say that's how bad it was in terms of how I could get a green arrow this week. My old rank was 52k. I have now dropped down to 95, so I'm just above, obviously 100k. So I'm quite happy that I'm still in the top 100k. But yeah, it is a big red arrow for me, and it's a lot of points to climb back up into the top 50. But yeah, I'm still hoping I can pull it off and perhaps reach top 50 now. I think top 10k is out the obviously the target for this season. But yeah, I'll still push forward and see what rank I can possibly get. But 75 points this week, so it was a high scoring week. But I know that a lot of other people did score much more than me.
Yeah, so that's game week 34 wrapped up, guys. Still 1 game to go. So yeah, rank should change again tonight, depending on obviously how many Man City players, etc. you have. Let's talk about game week 35 though, because that's the next game week coming up, and it's a Saturday deadline this week. So I'll pull up my team first. Just bear with me for a moment, guys. Oh, sorry. Yeah, perfect. There you go, guys. Just move it to the side. So that is currently my bus team for game week 35. Now, as you can see, because I've had a really good week, just come off a free hit and back to my team, original team. Fairly, looking at it, it looks quite good. I'm quite happy the way it's set up. However, there is a few issues in my team. So in goal, I do have Petrovic, who's got a double game week against Villa and Tottenham, which I'm happy to keep him for that because it's a double game week. And you know me, I try to have as many of those as possible. Gusto is the one that does worry me. Now, Gusto, I saw a Twitter post. Apparently, he won't be fit for the double game week, which if that's the case, then it's a big worry because I was relying on Gusto essentially for one of my double game week players. So if Gusto is not fit, then it would change my plans in terms of transfers because I'm actually unsure as of now, which will come onto my transfer plans in a second. But it looks like Gusto may not play any of the games in the double. But I am waiting for transfer news, and I have no idea what I'm going to do, guys. It's going to go right to the wire on Saturday, I'm pretty sure. Gabriel's got Tottenham, but I don't know if I'm going to play him 100% because I think Tottenham will score. But Gabriel's and Arsenal defense is so consistent that you wouldn't rule them out keeping a clean sheet against Spurs. So again, there's another one I have to decide. Dan Burn's definitely going to play for me. He's got Sheffield at home. It's a nice fixture. I know Newcastle have just lost, but Sheffield is an easier fixture, so I expect to play him in that fixture. Midfield is looking a lot better. I've got Son, who's got a double game week, so he's 100% going to play for me both games. Happy with owning him for this week. Saka's got Tottenham. Saka is one I'm looking at potentially removing from my team. I'm just not been as impressed with Saka recent weeks, and I think going forward in the fixtures Arsenal have, I'm not too worried about going without him. Salah, another one, same as Saka. I am actually looking at getting rid of Salah now. But the plan was always to maybe get rid of Salah and Saka in gaming 35 onwards. So Salah is probably going to be going for my team. It's just when now and not if. Garnacho is in the team. He's got Burnley at home. Again, he did start again in Man United's win last night against Sheffield. So again, I'm quite happy to play him against Burnley. So we'll see how he does. We'll come onto my bench. I do have a bit of a headache to which Man United player I play, but I've got Garnacho playing at the moment. Palmer, again, we know he was ill and missed the game against Arsenal. However, he should be back for the double. And if he is, he should be my captain. No debate. If Palmer's fit, he's the captain. And he's got Villa and Tottenham in the two games. Haaland doesn't start tonight. He's not in the squad. So he should be back for Forest. If he's not, then I'll have to make transfer plans again because he's another flagged player. That is 4 flags on my team right now. So Haaland is one of them as Palmer, but realistically, Haaland and Palmer should be fine. So you're looking at 2 real flags. But yeah, Haaland's got Forest away, which is a nice fixture. And Isak, Sheffield at home, I think it's a great fixture for him and happy to own him for that game as well. On the bench, Kelleher, we know he's lost his spot with Alisson back. I've got Højlund, who I could actually play instead of Garnacho because Højlund did score last night for Man United late on to get, I think he got the 4th goal. So I could actually play Højlund, but I'm not sure yet. And Udogie, we know he's out for the rest of the season, so he will have to be transferred out soon. And I will be taking Udogie out 100%. And I've got Van Heck on the bench, who's got Bournemouth, who does play tonight as well. So initially, I am actually considering taking a -4 potentially. I could actually roll and not do anything. Because I could, even if Gusto is injured, I could just play Van Heck and Gabriel Byrne, play the midfield because Palmer should be fine, and then I could play Haaland and Isak. So I could actually roll the moves and not do anything. But I do believe I want a double game week player from Spurs in there. So what I'm thinking right now, early thoughts, is one move, and that is Udogie to Porro. And then playing Porro for his double. I know it's not a great double. Don't see many clean sheets against Arsenal and Chelsea, but he could nick an assist. So that's why I'm tempted to bring Porro in if we hear Porro's fit, which he should be. Also, I'm considering a -4 to take out Salah or Saka. And the player that might interest people is, let me show you. So many ways I can go. I've got 1.4 million in the bank. So Udogie to Porro. And Porro is currently flagged, but he should be fine according to leaks. And then I am also looking at potentially probably Salah or Saka. It could be either one. I'll probably be Salah to Bruno Fernandes. I am planning on actually bring Bruno in to go triple Man United attack, which is not ideal. But I think I may go there. Ideally, I'd want a Man United defender for the bench boost, but the way my team is set up, I might be going Bruno because Bruno did score 2 goals yesterday, 1 penalty, and then he also got a lovely goal with his left foot. For those that didn't watch it, he came in with an 18-pointer, back-to-back double-digit hauls now for Bruno. And I do want to, go a bit different. And I think Salah to Bruno for me is a decent move. So I probably will be bringing Bruno in. That will be for a -4. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it because I don't know if I have to bring Bruno in for a -4, but I definitely will be taking Salah out and Saka, both of them out soon. And the other player I really want in my team, if I want to take a -8, which I'm not going to do, but I don't rule it out because I've got so many points this week. I feel like I could, just take a -4 this week. But Gordon is another player that I will get in my team. I like his fixtures in the next 3. So essentially, I'm not ruling out a -8, but it's unlikely. I'm more likely going to do a free transfer or a -4. The -4 would be Bruno and Udogi to Porro. So yeah, let me know what you guys would do, guys, with my team, because again, it's a tough week because with the flags, the way the team's set up. I'm not sure what to do, but I do really want to take a punt on Bruno now, especially with the rank I'm at. I want to bring him in if I can get some upside, maybe. 'Cause I'm not impressed with Saka and Salah, especially in my team. But yeah, that's what my thoughts are. Jordan, was he Palmer captain, vice on Son? I mean, what would you be doing with my team if you had the team?
Yeah, taking out Saka is an interesting one, especially with Arsenal still in the title race as well. What's your ideas of taking Saka out now and not keeping it for the rest of the season?
So essentially, I think Tottenham is going to be a tough game for Arsenal. I know Arsenal have been really good last game, 5 goals. Again, it's just Saka's goal involvements. I think Saka has 1 goal, which was against Brighton in his last 8 matches. So 1 goal and 2 assists in his last 8 games. And then when you look at his fixtures, Spurs and Man United are tough games, and he doesn't double for me as well. And him not doubling is also a factor where it is tempting to take him out because he has no doubles left. That Bournemouth fixture is really nice. So he could punish me in that game, but it's the fact that he doesn't have any doubles as well. And someone like Gordon does, which does tempt me to take a punt on Gordon or even someone like a Bruno. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at, potentially taking out Saka.
Oh yes, that's a fair shout because bringing in Bruno in early could be a good move as well before the double, because obviously a lot of people will bring him in at 37, but if you can get some of his points before that, then yeah, that's equally as nice against Burnley and Crystal Palace before his double. But yeah, I like the moves. The -4 is interesting if you do take it. I think for me, I'd probably take a 1-3 transfer and maybe not the hit, but in your position, I think, yeah, it's worth taking the hit now because, yeah, you have a lot of points from the double game week. So I think that -4 would make up for it too.
Or I could just do 1 transfer free and do Salah to Bruno and just play Van Heck, essentially. Play Van Heck against Bournemouth, do Salah to Bruno and roll. So not roll, but essentially just use 1 free transfer because with defenders, there's not much upside. I mean, with Chelsea defenders, are they going to keep clean sheets? Probably not in either game. But I just liked Gusto as an attacking option. But yeah, I mean, I'm not actually against playing. Also, Porro's the other one. Like if Porro's fit, then I think I will bring Porro in, guys. I think Porro with double. Again, I don't expect any clean sheets, but the reason why I'm tempted with Porro is because he had a double in 35 and then a double in 37. So I'm getting an extra fixture essentially. Or extra 2 fixtures.
2 fixtures, yeah. From 2 double game weeks. Yeah, I don't know with Porro. Obviously, we don't see clean sheets coming. Maybe an attack and return from one of those games, potentially. But I don't know. I think it would depend on how I see Spurs, because after their last game, I wasn't really convinced against Newcastle whether they can obviously recover from that. But yeah, regardless, it might be worth bringing Pedro Porro in because maybe others will be put off by Spurs' performance for the blank game week. So yeah, that could be an avenue to go down, or even a Van de Ven or someone from defense.
Yeah, because if Gusto's injured, if Gusto's injured, that leaves me with 3 double game week players, which for me isn't enough. I ideally wanted 5. I've got currently 1, 2, 3, 4. I wanted to bring. Yeah, I had 5 actually. I have 5 double game week players, but 3 of them are flagged, and 2 of them are serious. It looks like your dog is obviously he's out, and Gusto. So I went from 5 double game week players to potentially having just a 3, which is because it's not great, but that's what happens in FPL sometimes. Injuries happen and hits might need to be taken. Because I did wildcard in 31, and so much already has happened since then. Really,
Yeah, that's been a big turnaround from injuries, especially playing a part in between game weeks. But yeah, I do like obviously the moves to bring Pedro Porro in. I think not many people are going to do it, so you might be ahead of that, and also potentially bringing in Bruno Fernandes as well. I mean, even though after the double game week, there's not real much worth having him for, but for 37, it sets you up nicely bringing him in early.
Yeah, Gordon is another one. I definitely want Gordon. I really want Gordon this week. Like, I could take a -8. I just think Gordon has the potential as well against Sheffield at home to go massive, and he might get you a goal or 2. So yeah, Gordon, Bruno, 100% on the list for me, and we'll see how it goes. Join in, guys. Saturday deadline stream. It is going to be a great one. Jordan, let's move on to your team though. Show us your boss team, how you're lining up, and also any plans transfer wise as well.
Yes, so we'll just get it up. So this is what my current this is what my current game week 35 team looks like. So in goal, I do have Leno, who has Crystal Palace at home. Now I don't know what to expect from this fixture now, because I don't expect obviously Leno to keep a clean sheet, but hopefully Crystal Palace don't do that much significant damage. Like, since obviously their new managers come in, they've been a complete whole new different team, and that worries me obviously. So the other option is Areola, who's got Liverpool at home. But again, even though Liverpool aren't up to scratch and potentially out of the title race, I don't see a clean sheet for West Ham either, the way they're playing. So I'm kind of stuck with goalkeepers. I don't see a clean sheet for either one, but it's just the damage limitation of the opposition teams, of who can outscore who in terms of save points. But I think I'm going to put my bet on Leno as the starting keeper for me in game week 35. So let's move on to the back three. So I've gone with Reguilon, who has Everton away. I'm pretty happy to play Reguilon. Obviously, he shows a lot of attacking threat down that wing. So any sort of return from that game would be nice. It's going to be a tough fixture, though, because Everton are fighting for that, obviously, relegation battle at the bottom. They do want to stay out of that, and they will fight for that with all they can. And Brentford, they haven't really got much to really play for, apart from obviously finishing high up in the top half of the table if they can. But I'm happy to play him. That obviously means, because the Brentford plays against him, there's a bit of a clash in defence. So I might switch Brentford with Doughty, who has Wolves away near the deadline stream. But I have him in the team just for now, just for clarity of what I've sort of envisioned. But yeah, potentially Brantwaite will be on the bench, and Doughty will probably play in front of him. And then my other defender obviously is Gabriel, who has Tottenham away. Even though I don't expect a clean sheet from obviously Arsenal, well, it could come as a surprise if they do. There is going to be a lot of corners in that game, I feel like, that Arsenal are going to get. So yeah, because I don't really trust Spurs' defence. It's a bit of a mess at the back, and if Arsenal do get a lot of corners, that does provide Gabriel with a lot of opportunities to get the aerial threat and headers and potentially score a goal against Tottenham. So I wouldn't be surprised at that in that game. So I'm definitely playing him. Moving on to the midfield five. So starting off, we've got Son, who's got Arsenal home and his second fixture against Chelsea away. Tough fixtures, I think, for Spurs, the way they're playing at the moment. Not sure what to expect from them in, obviously, this double game week, but regardless, I have Son anyway for this. So he does have the potential to score. He's on, obviously, pens, and hopefully Spurs can turn their bad form around, and we can start seeing some goals from Son, because ever since I brought him in, he's not given me a single return yet. So I'm hoping this double game week he can repay me for bringing him in. Next, we've got Salah, who's got West Ham away. I'm not sure with Salah at the moment, especially with Liverpool losing 2-0 to Everton. I know it's a London derby and anything can happen in that game. It's just Salah hasn't been the same person since, obviously, his injury, ever since he's come back. not really much attacking involvement, and there's been a lot of chances given to Salah and other Liverpool assets, but as we saw against Everton, they haven't been able to finish them properly. So I'm hoping there's some redemption in that West Ham game. That moves on to Saka. He's got Tottenham away. So yeah, there's a lot to play for now because Arsenal, Man City battling for that title race, and yes, Saka has dropped off in terms of obviously scoring goals, only getting the odd assist here and there. So it's been a quiet period for him. Hopefully, he can revive that. But I still think I'm going to keep Saka for the rest of the season until the end, just to see what he can do. Because one game week he could probably score 5 points, but the next he could probably get a double haul. So he's definitely an asset. It's hard to replace. That moves on to Palmer, who's got Aston Villa away and Tottenham at home. I will keep this short in terms of captaincies. There's no argument really who the captain is for this week. You're not really going to go with Son if you compare forms. So Palmer is the outstanding captain for me, and that's not going to change. So hopefully it should be fine. Obviously, he was ill in Double Gameweek 34, but yeah, hopefully he can play both of those fixtures. Moving on to the last midfielder, that is Gordon, who has the best fixture of this obviously game week with Sheffield United at home. I feel like if you do own Newcastle assets, you're in a very good position, especially with Isak, Gordon, and potentially a defender like Shah or a Dan Burn in defence, because I feel like that's going to be a very high scoring game for Newcastle. They seem to have recovered a bit of form despite their injuries as well to the team. So yeah, I am expecting a good turnout for Newcastle in terms of the score, because it could be big against Sheffield United, because they've only got really Pride to play for, as they are pretty much relegated as far in the season. So that just leaves the two forwards, Solanke, who has Brighton at home. I think that's a good fixture. Brighton haven't really been that great this season. They have had their odd games here and there, but yeah, Solanke's been outstanding this whole of the season, scoring lots of goals, and yeah, happy to play him. Obviously, he's on penalties too, so as a single game player, he is definitely starting in my team. And finally, the last player, who is Haaland, currently flagged. He's got Nottingham Forest away. Hopefully, he should start that. If not, I do have bench replacements. I've got Semenyo, obviously Solanke's right-hand man, to come on in case he doesn't, obviously isn't fit enough to start in a Nottingham Forest game. So I do have bench backups, which is pretty nice. And just on the bench, we've got obviously Ariel's got Liverpool at home, Semenyo's got Brighton at home, Doughty's got Wolves away. Bell is still flagged, so he probably won't be playing against Wolves away fixture. But yeah, in terms of transfer plans, I got 0.0 million in the bank, so I've got no money to play with at the moment, which isn't good. And I've got one free transfer as well. Now, I have considered potentially at this point rolling my transfer over, so I probably won't be doing any transfers for game week 35. I probably will save it and obviously roll it on to the next game week and see what my team looks like after that and what fixtures the players have, because I feel like I do need to make a few changes, especially with my bench boost, which I plan to use in game week 37, the double game week 37. And I do need Man United assets for that. So I do want to save these transfers instead of keep using one each week, as yeah, I've got no chips apart from that bench boost left. So I want to be very careful on who I bring in and who I take out at this moment in time. So yeah, it's a bit boring for me in terms of my transfer plans, but that's what it's looking like ahead of game week 35 for me.
Okay, lovely. So that's the plans, guys. Let us know what you're doing in the chat. Let's take a few comments. FN, apparently Gakpo was supposed to start over Diaz in the second game, but Gakpo wasn't fit. No, so what actually happened in that game was, yeah, Gakpo was meant to start. However, Gakpo's wife actually went into labor. So Gakpo actually was pulled out last minute because obviously he's just become a father. So he wasn't injury related with Gakpo. Chief says smashed it, Huss. Thank you, Chief. FN says defensive roller coaster. Zabar, hey lads, 124 points with Foden and Vardiol to go. Should go top of the FPL Duo League tonight as I'm 3 points behind top spot. Brilliant.
Well done.
Great score. And obviously going top. Yeah, well done. Fatality. So yeah. Okay, so Zaber Classics. I know you use your other account, Fatality. I recognize your name. Salah to Fernandez seems low upside. I'm not sure about if it's a low upside because Fernandez got Burnley and Fernandez has just scored 4 goals in his last 2 matches. I know 2 of them were penalties, but he does get penalties and then he does usually convert them. So, and I think it could be a nice differential with Fernandez. Stranger Mings says Jose. FN, if Salah doesn't start, then Salah to Fernandez or Johnson and Madison is possible. Yeah, I've actually considered Brennan Johnson and Madison myself because they do have another double. If it were my team, I'd go Solanke for Jackson as well and chase the upside. Munib, hi Haas, haven't seen you in a while. How you been? Jordan, I haven't forgot about you. How are you? We're good, Munib. Thank you for your kind words. But yeah, we've been good. I've done Salah to Bruno and Luis Diaz to Son for a -4.
Already?
Luis Diaz to Son. Okay, Luis Diaz to Son is fine. Salah to Bruno, in my opinion, is okay as well. And then Zaber Classic says Salah also gets pens. Yeah, I know Salah gets pens, but I'm a Liverpool fan. I've been watching Liverpool closely for the last few weeks. And yeah, the attack is just completely off the ball. I think Salah hasn't been great in his last, 4 or 5 matches, really. Since he's come back from injury, he's not looked the same. I think Liverpool's entire attack really hasn't looked the same for me. And I know Man United aren't really great either. Man United aren't good. But, Bruno had a double as well coming up, where Salah doesn't have any more doubles coming up. And chasing the upside, the extra fixture as well. Any love for Harvey Barnes? Not for me. I think Gordon is the one I want to go for. I've got Isaac already. I think Gordon just prefer it. But I like Harvey Barnes. If you want to go different, you are chasing, then I don't mind Harvey Barnes as a pick. What about yourself?
Yeah, I think it's for me. It's still Gordon as over Harvey Barnes. But yeah, if you are chasing obviously the rank, then maybe Harvey Barnes' differential isn't such a bad idea, especially with Sheffield United at home. You never know. We have seen players that don't really score in fixtures like that because obviously the high line teams play against them. So yeah, he could be a nice option going forward.
Haas, I completely agree with you about Liverpool attack. What do you guys think on Haaland's situation, keep or sell? I think if we hear that Haaland's going to be fit for Nottingham Forest, then you have 100% you have to keep him, in my opinion. If we hear he's out for Nottingham Forest as well, it becomes a different discussion. I think you could potentially look at removing Haaland, especially if you're on a wild card. So I know a lot of managers are wildcarding this week in Game Week 35. If you're on a wild card and you hear Haaland's not playing, I wouldn't have Haaland in my wildcard draft. But again, I expect him to be fit for Forest. So that is it, guys, from us. If you have enjoyed the content, if you've enjoyed the video, do smash the like button, guys. It really helps support the channel. Make sure you are subscribed as well to our YouTube channel. It really helps support and grow the channel as well. So like the stream, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell as well so you don't miss out on any content as well. We are back again on Saturday now for the deadline stream. I'm just going to have a look what time it is on the deadline.
I believe it's at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock deadline. Yeah.
Is it an early deadline? One? Yeah, it is an early one. So it is a 11 a.m. deadline. So we'll be back streaming at 10 a.m. on Saturday. So make sure you guys tune in for that. It should be a great one, as I could potentially take a -4. But yeah, take care, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week and enjoy your weekend as well. Anything else you'd like to add, Jordan?
Yeah, enjoy obviously the rest of your week. Obviously the game week's still live for Double Game 34, so all the best for that if you do have assets from Brighton or Man City. But yeah, until then, take care. We'll see you at the weekend for the deadline stream.